Just to wrap up sort of what we've been talking about this unit, we first talked about how to calculate interest, which is money that you have to pay if you borrow money, or money that you get if you invest money. And then we sort of talked about credit and different types of credit, specifically like personal loans and credit cards. There is other types of credit. There was one, sales promotions, but I didn't really want to talk on that very much. And we talked very briefly about lines of credit. Okay, so just as a final wrap up, things you want to ask yourself before you're thinking of taking credit, okay, and going into debt, and debt simply means that you owe money. Okay? Debt is usually associated with something negative, because if you're in a large amount of debt, that means you owe a lot of money. But just some things to consider whenever you're, like, if you need money for something and you don't have enough of your own cash. Okay? First thing is, whatever you're looking at purchasing, do you really need it? Okay? Are you willing to go into debt for it? And are you willing and able to pay it off within a reasonable period of time so you don't have to pay a whole bunch of penalty fees? Okay? Comparing prices. So if you're looking for something, try and get the best price. And say you've got the best price and you want this thing because you feel you need it, and you want to shop around in terms of, you know, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to put it on a credit card because I can pay it off in a month, or I can pay it off in 3 months and I'm willing to pay a little interest? Or is it a bigger purchase where maybe I use a line of credit from my bank? Or is it a pretty substantial purchase when you think about, okay, now we're looking at 6,000, 7,000 or something like that? Do I look at a personal loan? Okay. And then, of course, when you do the credit, you know, make sure that everything, like that you're paying it regularly. If it's a credit card statement, or if you've got something on your credit card, make sure there's no other charges on your credit card. We talked about that. And specifically relating to credit cards, having a credit card is good because it builds your credit rating. Okay. But having too many is not good, because then temptation to sort of say, oh, well, okay, I don't have much on this credit card, so I'll put it on this one. And, oh, well, I want that too, but so I'll put it on this credit card. And then all of a sudden you have all these credit cards and you've got all this debt built up. Okay. So things you just want to consider before you consider taking credit. Let's say you've done it. Okay. And let's say things have turned out badly. You have been unable to make monthly payments on your credit card. You have been unable to make the payments on the personal loan you took because you just simply don't have the cash. Okay? You are, your line of credit, you're owing quite a bit. Things like that. It could be one of those things. It could be a combination of those things. So what happens when you get heavily into debt? Okay. First thing, just like the first rule when you're digging a hole for yourself, stop digging. Okay. So stop using credit. So if your credit card or credit cards are out of hand, stop using them. Okay. Because it's only going to make it worse. And like it says here, stop all borrowing. Like, don't take, don't take a personal loan yet, because it actually could be helpful. Okay? Contact the credit companies that you owe, whether it's a credit card company, whether it's a bank or some other financial institution. Be honest with them. Say, I have a problem. I simply don't have the cash to pay this regular amount that I'm owing every month. And perhaps they can come up with an alternate plan for you. Okay? Often credit institutions will do that. Another thing that you can do, and this sort of goes in combination with getting advice. You know, there's plenty of financial counselors out there that will help, that will assist you in saying, okay, look, I got credit card debt, I got a personal loan for $10,000 I can't make the monthly payments on, and I got a line of credit I owe $20,000. What do I do? And one of the first things they might say is, okay, let's take all your debt and combine it into one personal loan. So you pay off a line of credit if you have it. You pay off your credit cards, and now you're just paying off a personal loan. I mean, you still have to pay this stuff back, but at least it's not 3 or 4 different things you're trying to keep track of. It's one thing, okay? So often that will happen. And then, of course, once you sort of have a plan to get out of debt, you should have a plan to stay out of debt. And that is in terms like when you're dealing with credit and you're dealing with debt, you have to be disciplined. You know, it's not free money that I can pay back later down the road. There's a cost to paying it back later down the road. And if you're unable to cover that, then things are going to be pretty difficult, and then you'll get into debt. Okay, so I just wanted to make a point of highlighting that, because as I said,